couple reasons. I mean, I think we had a lineup that we'd been practicing with out there most of the time, and so that was good. We improved defensively on our patience more than anything, patience and understanding, which you hope. I mean, there are, and you know, every other coach would probably be just talking about how young we are and giving you all the stories. We haven't done that. But there's a lot of room for improvement, and we showed it this week. So we got to continue to do that. Slippery Rock kept playing. They played hard. I watched them play against Southern Miss, who's a good team, good program, and they were up and in that game for most of the time. So we knew they were going to play hard. We knew this was an important game to them, and you know, they kept playing all the way through, which is what you would expect out of Coach Reynolds' team, and one of the better teams in the country for Division II, and I think favored to win that league there this year. So we expected a good team, and we got it, but I thought we played well and with a purpose, and got some very good performances from a lot of guys. So excited about our point guard play. I thought it was very steady, very solid, and then also got good performances inside from our big guys as we spread the minutes around. Our young freshmen played better, and I think they'll get better the next time out.
It's the way in the past you've kind of used maybe more so 2 point guards in the backcourt as opposed to a point guard and a traditional shooting guard when you back to Trey and James and then kind of Brad and Ashton as well. What does Cameron Wright bring? Is he more of a traditional 2 guard for you guys, and what does he bring to the starting lineup?
I mean, he's our third point guard too, and so we can play him there. But we like to have guys that, you know, Lamar can play point guard. We've always had teams that are perimeter guys are all good passers, good decision makers. So I think that's pretty consistent. Cameron's bigger, so you know, he probably fits the prototypical 2 as far as size, but his decision making is much improved, and you know, he can play some point and played a lot in practice the last couple of days. So we've been trying to recognize that Josh and James could be in there at the same time. So for that, we need another point guard on the other team, and so he's been playing that as well. But he can play it. I'm not at all concerned about it. If we need to get him on the floor and we feel that's our best group, we'll get him at the point and 2. But I feel like James needs to be out there. And right now, Josh needs to be out there, and he's improving. So. And Josh has done a good job with the second unit. He's just more confident this week. You really saw it this week, more confidence out of him. But you know, Cameron's been playing really well. Didn't play. I don't think he's very happy with how he played last week, and so obviously you saw what he has been doing in the scrimmages and then practice. This was more indicative, and so we've seen this from him, and we got very good perimeter. I thought Lamar was really unselfish, played really well, made some great passes. And we got very good play out of those 3 guys specifically at the wings. And then James and Josh gives very good point guard play. So, you know, we think Chris is better than what he's shown in the scrimmages and in the exhibitions. And I thought today just getting a layup and free throw, I think that, you know, just get him going here down the road as he gets better.
We've seen the defense from Cameron, especially last year. With his offense, you talked about the decision making being improved. Are there any other improvements from? I mean, his jump shot looks a little better.
I think this week was his jump shot's improved. There's more arc. It's more consistent, and you know, I think defensively, I think we took a little step backwards last week, a little impatient defensively, and this week he was more patient defensively. And that, you know, that's what I was talking to some of our newer guys today about. The last couple of days was being patient on defense. You know, they've probably heard about patience on offense. But patience on defense was something that we really lacked in our last week, and that was something we emphasized this week. And Cameron, and it was, you know, it wasn't just freshmen; it was older guys as well. So Cameron, I thought, was better in that regard, and did a good job because Delaney's a good player, and you know, obviously he got hurt, I think in the second half, but he's a guy that's very dangerous, and so we really wanted to not let him get going. If I said that name correctly, but. He's a good player. We saw that in the film, and we saw by what he can do.
Coach, last year you played Trey for almost 40 minutes a night, pretty much every game. Talk a little bit about your depth, and I think it's kind of the underrated area of your team. You know, you guys are going to be pretty much 12 deep this season.
Well, we did go with Trey a lot last year. We ran a lot of plays for him. I think we've got a little bit better versatility. He was really the only experienced guard. I guess you could throw Lamar in there too as well, but. You know, that last year, and now I feel like we have more experienced guards and guys that really improved this summer in a lot of ways. And a lot of them, you know, they were healthy. I think that was important, and it allowed them to improve. And yes, big emphasis for our guys is, you can see all the guys, and over the years, as I've been saying, it's about being on the floor. Being on the you don't get better not practicing, and that's what I've been really emphasizing to our guys. And probably Trayvon had a good year, his best year last year, because he was probably the most he was able to practice for us over his career. So obviously didn't practice much as previous year, and all the injuries we had, but being out there is key. And James has been practicing, and you need to get in that rhythm. And so we've done a lot more running, I would say, but at the same time we've probably pulled back on some of the contact, and we've got to improve in some areas. But the rebounding is the one thing that really keeps standing out to me. I know we're getting a lot more turnovers, and that obviously has an impact on that, but we've got to get more offensive rebounds, and that's something that we have talked about. Now, here I am saying that, and we got 14 offensive rebounds, so most teams will be ecstatic with that, but I just felt early we didn't get as many as we needed to get.
Jamie, do you think as Derek gets more comfortable, that'll be an area where he helps you? He did it tonight.
Yeah, he was very good, and we've seen it, but he missed a lot. We didn't have him last game and last practice, and he's like, I missed the game. I said, you missed 10 practices. And you try to get that across to our guys, and that's one of the guys I was talking about. You don't get better unless you're out there every day and improve. And we saw him improving a lot this week. It was good for him. It was good for us. Allowed us to practice the way we want to play, which is something we weren't able to do when he was out. So he needs to be there, and I think I like the group. Obviously we've got a long way to go. Jamel and Mike are better players, but they learned a lot. 9 fouls between them. Hopefully they can figure that out. And even Aaron gives. Aaron did a great job for us, and that's been happening every day in practice. So it's good. I like. It's obviously a young group of big guys and inexperienced. It's probably as inexperienced as any group in the country, but we're not gonna. To me, it's an opportunity to improve, and that's what we're looking at. We're focused on.
Coach, you've always seen glimpses from Duran. We saw them last year against Marquette. He had a big three-pointer, sent you guys into overtime against them. You talked a lot about not staying on the court and not staying healthy. What do you think Duran's going to bring to your team, kind of as the sixth man off the bench this year?
Being out. I think the last time I said that to you, and he was hurt. He was out the next 10 days, I think, right after that. So it's you don't get better unless you're out there, and he's been out there and he's been practicing hard. He's played really well the last couple of days in practice. Really well, and so we kind of saw this. And again, he made shots today, but he's been doing other things. He didn't have any assists today, but the last couple of games, the last couple of practices, a lot more assists doing that. So. He played very well obviously tonight, but he's been playing really well. He got 5 rebounds. That's been a big emphasis for us on him. He's got a rebound for that position, and he hasn't done it in the past. He's doing a better job lately, and the numbers surely indicate in practice, and it's good to see it in the game.
Last question, guys.
Coach, looking at the defense last week, and how it progressed today, because I guess you guys were having some trouble rotating and shifting last week. How do you think that looked today, and how could you improve from this?
Improvement. Obviously they did some things you were rare that you're going to see, but we saw it today. They brought their 5-man out to shoot, and that was what they got going kind of in the second half. And we can live with that. We haven't had anybody ever beat us in that way, but so just guarding things that we hadn't seen before when you don't have them in film, and I don't know. When you have a lot of newer guys, switching on the fly or trying to explain things in that game was probably not our. We didn't do a great job in every area, but it was just improvement. I think I talked about it earlier. Patience on defense was amazing. I know that sounds simple, but I think we saw the rewards and the benefits of that as a group. So I knew we'd struggle with our big men defense early on. Last game, that wasn't a surprise. I was surprised by our impatience defensively from our perimeter guys, and that surprised me that we struggled in that regard in the first game. So that was a little bit more exciting, but we addressed that, I thought, better today and this week, and I made it very clear to those guys that was not how we're going to play. There's going to be growing pains with the big guys. It's with defense, but we made good strides this week.
All right.